Ready? Hello? Is it loud enough? Please stand. Hello? Please stand. Oh yes, this county commission meeting of Sumner County is now open pursuant to adjournment. God bless this country and this honorable commission. Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we'll have the reading of the call. There shall be a special call meeting of the re-elected and newly elected members of the Sumner County Board of County Commissioners on Thursday, September 1st, 2022 at 7:00 p.m. local time at the Sumner County Administration Building, Commission Chambers, 355 North Belvedere Drive, Gallatin, Tennessee. At this meeting, the following shall be undertaken: the swearing in of all duly elected county commissioners, the election of the nominee brought forth by County Mayor-elect John Isbell for the position of Sumner County Law Director, and the adoption of the rules for operation of the body, the election of the County Commission Chairman, and the election of the Chairman Pro Tem, and to consider and possibly vote upon the manner to resolve the tie vote in the District 13 County Commission seat, and the election of the Committee on Committees, the election of the committees, and discuss and vote upon the calendar and adoption of official bonds. All right, Todd Alexander, Reverend Todd Alexander is going to do the invocation. He is a former staff sergeant and 12-year veteran of the U.S. Marine Corps and has served as a reserve deputy and department chaplain for the Johnson City Sheriff's Department and has been elected to serve on the executive board of the Tennessee District of the Assemblies of God for the last 15 years. Pastor Todd has served Tennessee churches in Mountain City and Savannah and has been the senior pastor of House of Grace Church on Lock 4 Road for 10 years. He and his wife Sherry have 2 children and 5 grandchildren.
Thank you. Would you join me in prayer? Father, on this night, we pause amongst agendas and amongst excitement, and we say thank you. The God, that your hand has been upon our county and upon the people and the leaders, upon the new county mayor and clerk, upon the new commissioners and those who are returning. But Father, today I pray in Isaiah 43 blessing on our county. That God, while we thank you for what you have done, we look for the new things that you're going to do. Father, we ask you, Lord, to give our leaders the wisdom of Solomon, the mind of Christ, and a unity that only comes through you, Father. Not just this night, but the nights and the months and the years to come, Father. I speak blessing upon Sumner County, God. That, Lord, you would raise us up, Father God, to be a light to the other counties, Father. Lord, and we give you thanks for that. We ask it in the strong name of Jesus. Amen.
Join me for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Never gets old.
Now we're going to have the swearing in of the commissioners, so if you would please stand. Raise your right hand, and you will just say your name, and then at the end you will say, I do. I do solemnly swear that I will perform with fidelity the duties of the office to which I have been elected and which I am about to assume. I do solemnly swear to support the constitutions of Tennessee and the United States and to faithfully perform the duties of the office of County Commissioner representing my district, Sumner County, Tennessee. Okay, we'll now have the roll call. Each commissioner records your votes. Record your presence, I'm sorry. Now, the approval of the agenda, Mr. Hyde.
Madam Chairman, we might also have to think of this. We need to announce how many constitute a majority tonight, because we do have a seat. I think it would be 12 tonight.
Yes, Commissioner Hyde, a vacancy is treated like there's no one in the seat. If it was just an absence, it would still be 13, but because the seat is vacant, it's 12.
Madam Chairman, I would like to suggest that we report the agenda according to the form that I have on your desk. We will see probably some pretty bad typing. That's what I'm talking about that I did. And if we're reporting the same items that are on there from my years of experience with being as the chair, I think it would be a little bit more efficient this way. So I move that we approve the reporting of the agenda.
Second. Second.
Mr. Mansfield, second. Now we will take nominations for chairman.
I nominate Commissioner Merrill Hyde, Chairman.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Hyde.
Second.
Second. Are there any other nominations? Okay. Then we'll do a vote. Well, first we need to vote to approve the agenda.
Point of order. We have two motions on the floor?
So we're going back to vote on the agenda first.
Okay.
So we're going to take a vote on the agenda now. Each commissioner records your vote. Okay, all votes are in, 20 yes, 1 no. All right, now we're going to vote on the chairman. Each commissioner record your vote. Okay, we have 21 yes. And Mr. Hyde?
Madam Chairman, Clerk, if you would take over for just a moment. If you would call for, Madam Clerk, if you'd call for the election of the Vice Chairman.
Okay, do we have nominations for the chairman pro tem?
I would second that.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Okay. Each commissioner record your vote. Yes.
Right, thank you very much. I think I speak for the Chairman Pro Tem also when I say that I appreciate your confidence. Now, I've been up here long enough to know that in 6 months, you could cut that vote in about half and will not be the same. But it is refreshing to get a vote like that and to serve up here with so many people. We were talking Before the meeting, Ben was a junior high student of mine that I did have to get a couple of times. And Baker Ring was a junior high student of mine. And Mr. Mansfield's mom worked for the school system. When I was principal at Lakeside Park, I had his brothers in school as their elementary principal. Mr. Wright was at a school where one of my very good friends was the principal. He's been there for a number of years. Tim, I had in Sunday school when he was like in Commissioner Jones, I'm sorry, was in Sunday school when he was very, very young. And my wife and I taught him. I was in Mr. Sullivan's wedding. I could go on and on, but it's just fun to be up here for a year to work with you, and we'll talk a little bit more about what we expect at the end of the meeting. We'll proceed with what we have on the agenda. At this time, I want to tell you, you have on your desk a copy. We copied it for you, and I think it was posted also, of the rules and procedures. And I would entertain a motion at this time that we adopt these. We do need rules and procedures in order to operate.
I so move.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
And there is a second. Any discussion? The second was, who was it? Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
okay.
as I was looking through them today, I noticed that there are several instances where it says county executive, but the term is now county mayor. So I'd like to make a motion that any place where it says county executive, it should be replaced with county mayor.
We'll accept that as a motion, but if that is in fact in there, yeah, that can be corrected. That's just an oversight.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All right, let's, okay, Commissioner Wynn.
Which version of the rules are we voting to adopt?
Which version?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did we have more than, Madam Clerk, one version there on his desk? No?
Commissioner, I was at the meeting briefing.
There was a version that was received this morning with, it was like 3 extra pages and 50+ edits.
All right, what we're voting on, I understand what you're saying now. What we're voting on are the rules and procedures that you have at your desk now.
The one dated September 1.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Commissioner Harris?
Well, I turned myself off, didn't I? Am I on?
You're on.
Mr. Chairman, do we not typically in years past go off with the existing rules and procedures on the first meeting and then send it to committee, select a committee to review these and then bring them to the next regular scheduled meeting?
We have done both. I can remember on one occasion in the almost 30 years that I've been up here, I can remember one occasion that I know of that we did not, but it's been done both ways. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Harrison? Commissioner Wynn?
yes, sir. Yeah. So these were received this morning, this version. I just have questions on these. Mainly, what body was involved in making the composition of the amendments that are in these rules that we're potentially voting on to govern this body?
There were a number of us involved. I was involved in it, and a number of other commissioners, and we were open to any suggestions from anyone, so it was individual commissioners that are making this suggestion, and that's all it is at this time, is a suggestion.
And, okay. Was it in an open forum?
Well, as open as I think it could be.
In a public setting
Yes.
with notice?
No notice. No, it was not a committee meeting. It was not an official meeting. This is an informal presentation of these rules. It was not a meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know that it's appropriate to consider these rules if we haven't had legal counsel look at these. Do we have any legal?
Okay. All right. We hear you. Commissioner Harrison?
He asked the question if we had seek legal advice on this. Could I entertain an amendment or a motion,
Sure
Mr.
you
Chairman?
can.
I'd like to form a committee, a rules committee, and have these brought back to the full commission at the next regularly scheduled meeting.
All right. Motion's been made and a second. Any discussion on the amendment? Not the question, on the amendment. The second, who is the second to that? Okay, Mr. Harrison. All right, let's put that on the board, Madam Clerk.
Each commissioner records your vote. We're voting on the amendment. Is that what we're
This is the amendment we're voting on.
We have 7 yes and 12 no.
All right. We're back on the question. Any discussion on the question? Commissioner Harrison?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. In reading over these proposed rules this afternoon, I noticed that there appeared to be two different versions or two different definitions of what constitutes a quorum.
Could you quote that for
Pages
me?
2 and pages 12.
Okay. The attorney will look at that and advise me.
On page 2, a quorum for the transaction of business shall be a majority of all the duly elected acting members constituting the total authorized membership of the county legislative body, not simply a majority of those in attendance. The vacancy will not be counted in determining the required majority. Commissioner Harrison, did you say page 12? Page 12. Right here is the quorum for voting is defined as a majority of all members constituting the county legislative body, 24 commissioners, and not simply a majority of those present. 13 votes constitutes a majority unless otherwise a 2/3 majority vote of commission is required. That would be, this is saying it's always 13, eligible 13, even if there is a vacancy. State law says vacancy.
Okay. I'm advised by the attorney that vacancies would be discounted in that vote. So you are right to an extent on that, and I think that was an oversight, so it'll be worded that way. All right, Commissioner Wynn.
Yes, sir. I didn't receive a copy of this until 10 o'clock this morning via email from Commissioner Mansfield, and I appreciate you sending that over to me, sir. You know, as a fellow Republican, I was a little surprised to see there was more pages added for rules and regulations. And I also realized that a lot of my fellow commissioners work full-time jobs and may not have had time to review the entirety of this document. I know Mr. Harrison's pointed out a couple errors. What I have reviewed, I've seen some things that point to different stuff, and it looks like this hasn't been fully vetted or fully baked. But what I would like to do, since we've had less than 24 hours to review this, I would like to ask that the full proposal, all of this be read in its entirety for the body today. And I think that's in line with Robert's Rule of Order, sir.
I would be leaning toward the fact that this is very similar to the motion you made previously. But I'll be glad to take a vote on this just to make everyone happy. So, Madam Clerk, if you will put that on the board. I need a second to his motion if there is a second.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Commissioner Harris.
All right. Each commissioner record your vote.
Okay. We need to think about moving on with this unless there's any serious discussion at this point. Commissioner Lambert.
I'm just going to piggyback off. My mic's not on. You gotta turn my mic on.
I'm just going to piggyback off of what Wes said. I as well have a full-time job, Mr. Commissioner, and I did not have time to review all of this. And it's not necessarily that I'm against anything that's in this proposal. I just haven't had time to vet it. And if I'm going to be a member of this body, and I hope to be a good member of this body, I want to make sure that I'm following the rules that are laid out before me. And I feel like that's unfair to ask me to adhere to a standard that I don't even necessarily, I would venture to say some of us besides myself and Commissioner Wynn don't even know what we're voting on. And I understand you said, Mr. Commissioner, that you were a part of the group. I didn't know anything about this group. I definitely would have loved to have been a part of it if it was posted, if it was made aware. Just, if nothing else, just to know I'm a new commissioner here, as the majority of us are, and I want to make sure that we're doing the best job that we can, and I don't feel like it's fair that we get this. So if we're not going to send it back, and we're not going to, those motions have been made, can we at least get some sort of heads up of maybe what's changed from the last time? Because Ben gave us all a copy of the current procedures, and my understanding was we just adopt those, and then, like Commissioner Harris said, we send it back to the Rules Committee and go through that. So I'm well versed in those. I'm not on these new ones. So can we at least get maybe a red line or some highlights of what the differences are?
Is there anyone that participated in this? And let me say, too, about your question. This body is such that if you want to work on an individual project and present it, you could form your own group and do that. There's nothing wrong with that as individuals, to work on a project to improve rules or whatever, and I think that's what was done here. But is there anyone here that would prefer to speak to that? Okay. The suggestion's been made that we may not do that. So, but you are free at any time.
May not do what? I'm sorry, I'm confused.
We would not take a vote or have anyone speak up to do this. We posted it and we presented it to you. So that's, if there are things in there you don't like, you certainly are welcome to ask that they be taken out or make a motion for them to be taken out. Commissioner Wynn? Okay.
Where was this posted? Because it's not on the county site.
It was my understanding that it was posted on the county website.
Do you know when that was posted?
I do not know for sure. Commissioner Harris?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Hyde, I've got a great deal of respect for you and have always, and I know I hold you at a high standard, have always. But I question how a group of people can get together and make a decision for a full body without the full body knowing it. And I'd like to direct a question to the County Law Director on what's your interpretation? Is the Sunshine Law violated here or not?
Without knowing all the facts about who was involved, I can't say one way or the other. If someone who was an acting commissioner during the last term, and if two or more that are still on this one met on this, it could be. But if it were members who were just members-elect, who were not officials in any capacity and were still private citizens, they can meet with even one acting commissioner at the time and it not be a sunshine violation.
None of the new commissioners were actually an official part of this body until the first.
That is
they were not
correct.
elected.
Until their term started, they were not officials in any capacity that can be held under the Sunshine Law.
Commissioner Ring?
I'd like to make a motion that we continue with the current rules at this time and vote on the new rules next meeting, the September meeting, so that those commissioners who just got them today and didn't have a chance to look at them can look at them, and then also that we do get a copy of what the major changes were in the rules.
Could you tell me how you think this is distinguished as being different from Mr. Wynn's motion? It sounds very much to me like
I believe
the
his
same
motion was to set up a committee, wasn't it? Oh, that was Ben's motion, I'm sorry. Yeah, there was a motion to set up a committee. I believe mine's different.
I'm going to rule that it's not, but if you want to overrule the chair, you can make a motion to appeal that. Commissioner Schopp?
Oh, thanks. I'd just like to make a motion, maybe it's a little bit similar, but it would be a motion to adopt these rules, but amend them such that the rules themselves could be amended for the next 30 days. That way.
All right. Commissioner Schoff's motion or amendment is that we accept these rules, but we can make amendments within the next 30 days. Is there anything that you would like to say to that amendment, not the question, to that amendment? Commissioner Wynn, is it the amendment or the question? Okay.
I appreciate the 30 days. Then there's is it a simple majority? I think the rules that have been posted say to 2/3 to overturn that. And is that something that we can change?
Yes.
I think we'd make the motion to allow, within those 30 days, it would be a simple majority.
I'd like to direct the question to the law director or the law office to see is that.
My title is still staff attorney for now. If that's, the body can act to amend their rules in any way, and I would read this as a motion to amend these rules to say for 30 days after adoption, they can be amended by a simple majority rather than a 2/3 vote as they are written in this new set of rules. That was not changed as far as requiring a 2/3 majority for amending. So this would just be an amendment to create a 30-day grace period where there's a lesser standard for amending.
All right, I see no one else in the queue. We will post this on the board, the amendment on the board.
Mr. Chairman, I think I still had a question.
All right.
My mic was still on. I would like to replace the 30 days with 60.
All right, if he does not accept that with his motion, we'll vote on yours first for 60 days. Mr. Ring? Oh, it was Mr. Schopp, I'm sorry.
I'm just waiting. I feel like I'm also a working professional. I feel like the idea here is to get us moving in the right direction, and 30 days feels sufficient to me to read a 13-page document and make amendments to it. I feel 30 days is sufficient, and we can move on. I'd like to hold to 30.
All right. Are you still sticking with your 60?
I would like to see 60, and here's the reason being. When you look at the calendar, 30 days is one meeting, right? And that's in a couple weeks. So I would like to have 2 meetings, 2 commission meetings to bring up changes. Because there's going to be some things that you're going to read through and you're going to want to reread and digest and think about. And I would just ask that courtesy, just because, I mean, again, at 10 a.m. is the first time I got to look at these. I think some other folks in this room who are working didn't have the same opportunity. They may just now be learning about this. So I'd ask for a little leniency and some latitude on that 60 days.
All right, Commissioner Harrison, is this on the amendment or the?
Yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question would be, the changes who would we submit them to, because we don't know who put the rules together?
You can submit them to the chair.
To the chair?
You can
Okay.
submit them to the chair.
I wasn't sure if it would be to the legislative committee or not.
Yes, submit them to the chair, as you'd usually do.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we will post, Commissioner Show.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, I understand your argument. I think I'm going to stay with my 30 days, so I think the path forward here is to take the vote on the one and then take the vote on the other one.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can I direct a question to Commissioner Schote?
Please speak up.
May I direct a question?
No.
No?
No, you have to direct questions to me.
Okay. The question, Mr. Chairman, is it would be good to know who was in the meeting that created these rules? Is that something we can find out?
That is not pertinent to this motion. Now, let me warn you that you are a part of this meeting as a visitor. We are here to conduct county business. Anyone who disrupts this meeting will be asked to leave. I'll not hesitate to do that. All right, go ahead. I will
Mr.
not
Chairman,
accept that.
there are members of this body who have had advance notice, and there are other members who have 0 notice. I appreciate the amendment for the 30 days. I would really, really like the 60. I think that's fair.
All right. The motion, there are no other people in the queue. The motion is on the board. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry.
Would normal process not be, if we done this, let's say last year, would it not go through the legislative committee?
It may or may not.
Well,
Mr. Wright.
could we possibly do that? Make a motion to do that? The committees will be.
We can't do any motions now until we
Okay, I
dispose
apologize.
of the second amendment.
We'll take that up in a minute. Thank you.
All right. That answers that. We'll place this on the board now, since there's no one in the queue. Would you,
Call a question.
the amendment is 30 days.
30. This one is for the 30 days.
Okay, each commissioner records your vote. Six, 16 yes, 5 no.
All right, and a simple majority to amend the rules. We will have, seeing no one in the queue. We had another amendment, the First Amendment. Yes, oh, that's right, that's right. All right.
Mr.
We're
Chairman,
going to place the
Mr. Chairman.
rules as amended.
I have a question for the attorney, if I may.
All right.
And it hadn't dawned on me before, but refer and defer, those two terms have caused us confusion over the years. Have they been changed, or are they the same, which is backwards from Robert's rules?
They're the same in here. From what I looked through earlier, I did not see a change on refer.
Okay, so they're backwards of what Robert's rules
Yes,
are calling for.
I tried, defer means you get to debate is how I try to do it.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
All right, seeing no one else in the queue, the motion is now on the, as amended, is now on the board.
Each commissioner record your vote.
All right. The rules have been adopted with the stipulations as amended. The rules that are in place, not just these rules, but have been in place for many years, state that in election years that the chairman, because of the election and the time frame, will bring forth a slate of committees' suggestions. I am choosing to do that by appointing a committee that I would ask this board to confirm as the Committee on Committees, and then we'll take a recess for them to do some work as we normally do and have done for many years. That committee would be Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Teachner, Commissioner Holmes, Commissioner Janung, and Commissioner Mansfield. I would like to entertain a motion to elect these people.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. All right. Any discussion or any additions to the committee? All right. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign?
No.
Unless there's a request to divide the House, I'm ruling that the committee will be formed. All right. Please place that on the board, Madam Chairman.
This is on the Committee on Committees.
To elect a Committee on Committees.
Commissioner, record your vote.
Thank you.
All right, 14 yes, 6 no. The committee will recess at this time, and I will call the group back in when they have come back with committee suggestions. We're in recess.
Ramona, I'm going to be going to the committee. I will. If you need anything, I have my phone.